moment you set foot in Italy, you will surely be breathless, not because of the climate but because the scene before your eyes is too magnificent, too vibrant. How can you believe that villages like Appiropello truly exist, that Benai doesn't have a single car, that there is an entire city buried in ash for 2 millennia still bearing intact traces? Italy is a country where history, nature, and romance blend into an unbelievable symphony. And if you still don't know where to start your journey, the 20 stunning destinations below will guide you through the most wondrous moments of a country unlike any other in the world. Rome, the 1,000-year heart of the empire. You could get lost in Rome for a week and still feel like you've only skimmed a few pages of a history book written in stone and light. This city not only preserves the dazzling remnants of an empire that once ruled all of Europe, it sends shivers down your spine with the feeling that everything is still alive. Tea and books, it. It soars high at the Colosseum, which once echoed the cheers of tens of thousands watching life and death battles. Looking at Rome, you don't just see ancient glory. Just turn into a small alley, and you'll find a cafe nestled beside an old church, where the scent of coffee and pastries lingers. You'll see people standing before the Trevi fountain, silently tossing a coin with a wish, as if whispering something to history. Rome is like that, splendid without needing to show off. Ancient yet still making your heart race. A city where every street corner is a story, and every step is a slice of eternity. Venice, the world's most romantic floating city.
There are places so beautiful you hardly dare to breathe deeply, afraid that in just a blink, everything might vanish like a dream.
Venice is such a place. This city has no asphalt, no cars, no car horns. Instead, there are 117 islands connected by canals and bridges, where gondolas silently glide under the sunset, as if in a timeless opera. Nowhere else in the world can you hear the gentle lapping of water in the heart of an ancient metropolis. A melodious tune that has lasted for centuries. S Square, where pigeons descend at tourists. You'll understand why this is called the City of Love. But Venice isn't just about romance. It also hides a mysterious allure in its masquerade festivals, where masks conceal identities so people can live authentically. TA place to just look at. Florence, the cradle of the Renaissance. T just a city. In every stone, every red roof tile, every ray of light filtering through church-stained glass is the breath of an era that illuminated all of Europe. You won't be able to take your eyes off the Santa Maria del Fiore, with its giant dome seeming to touch the blue sky, an architectural masterpiece. Wandering between museums and squares, you feel as if stepping through waves of art, where Michelangelo sculpted David, where Leonardo once sketched the first flying machine with ink and imagination. Florence is art that knows how to breathe, music bursting from street corners, the scent of baked bread mingling in the evening breeze, and the golden sunset like a gentle caress. Where the Ponte Vecchio bridge casts its shadow like a dream. Here, everything speaks the language of beauty, and you won't want to stop listening. Amalfi Coast, a silk ribbon of stones suspended between sky and sea. T believe you. This coastline is like a silk ribbon of stone unfurling between sky and sea, where sheer cliffs embrace small towns scattered as if from a dream. Along the winding coastal road, every turn reveals a scene that makes your heart race. Pastel-colored houses clinging to mountainsides, fragrant lemon gardens stretching to the cliff's edge, and below, the blue Mediterranean Sea sparkling like crystal. From the vibrant Positano to the serene Ravello high above, from mossy stone steps to cafes perched halfway to the sky. Amalfi is the perfect blend of wild nature and poetic, man-made beauty. Cinque Terre, 5 villages clinging to cliffs. If the world is a giant painting, Cinque Terre is its boldest stroke. Nestled along the Ligurian coast, 5 tiny villages, Monterosso, Vernazza, Cornelia, Monarola, and Rio Maggiore, seem glued to sheer cliffs with color and magic. Each village is a story. A burnt orange wall, a sky blue house, a balcony full of bougainvillea overlooking the sea. All create a scene that seems unreal. No cars, no modern concrete, only stone steps, narrow alleys, and the sound of waves crashing against the cliffs right beneath the houses. The walking path connecting the villages, Sentiero Azzurro, is a magical journey where each step takes you through terraced vineyards and turns that open directly to the vast, mysterious ocean. TA tourist spot. Matera, the stone city reborn from ruins. There are cities built of stone, but Matera is a city that became stone. Located in southern Italy, where the land is dry, cracked, and sunlight pours down like fire, Matera appears like a forgotten wonder. The houses, churches, and roads here aren't built in the conventional sense.
They are carved deep into the limestone rock, creating a labyrinth of pace that stretches across centuries.
The shame of Italy. Residents were displaced, the city was abandoned.
But then, as if the stones themselves revived, Matera returned, more magnificent than ever.
Recognized by UNESCO and chosen as the setting for the film The Passion of Beatrice, it became a symbol of miraculous rebirth. When you stand in Matera at sunset, the light gilds every crevice, every arch. You are not just seeing a city, you are witnessing an ancient memory come to life. Lake Como, the most romantic lake in Italy. If Venice is the floating city of love, then Lake Como is the lake where love can drift endlessly. Nestled at the foot of the Alps, Lake Como is like a giant mirror, reflecting the sky, pine forests, ancient villages, and silent villas along its shores.
Every drop of water here seems to know how to whisper, to reflect the sunset line in a way that leaves you breathless.
Villages like Bellagio, Verona, or Menaggio are not just destinations, they are living paintings.
Where every alpine blooms, every house faces the lake, blue is the living ink.
Lake Como is not loud.
It is slow, gentle, and deep like an embrace.
You can sit for hours on a small wooden boat, just watching the rippling water and feeling that all the beauty in life is right here. For many, Lake Como is not just a place to visit, but a place to dream of forever. Verona, the city of Romeo and Juliet. There are cities you love at first sight, But Verona makes you believe that true love can live forever. This is not just the setting of the famous tragedy of Romeo and Juliet, but where love permeates every ancient stone, every flower-filled window, and walls covered with love letters. S balcony, where thousands pour out their hearts. But Verona does not live on legend alone. This city stands proud and elegant with its ancient arena amphitheater, once hosting Roman games, now a magnificent open-air opera stage. The stone Ponte Pietra Bridge, medieval squares, late-night cafes, all paint a Verona both ancient and vibrant, like a sonata dedicated to lovers. In Verona, you don't just travel, you slow down, see more gently, and perhaps believe in love once again. Capri, the jewel of the Bay of Naples. Capri is unlike anywhere else, small, isolated, and so beautiful it's almost unfair. From afar, the island rises in the Bay of Naples like a sparkling blue gem on the sea. Capri was once the retreat of Emperor Tiberius, and to this day, it retains its luxurious, enchanting allure. But Capri's charm lies not in its lavish villas or fashion boutiques, but in its mesmerizing natural wonders. The mysterious blue grotto, where light filtering through the water makes the cave glow like another world. Or the towering Faraglione cliffs, where sea waves kiss endlessly. Walking the winding stone paths, the scent of lemons in the breeze, rooftop cafes overlooking the endless blue Mediterranean, you'll see Capri is not a place to rush. Capri makes you want to stay, breathe slowly, glide more delicately, and know that some beauty cannot be captured, only felt with the heart. The Dolomites are not just a mountain range, they're where you go to feel small before nature. And simultaneously, feel uplifted by wordless grandeur. Located in northern Italy, the Dolomites stretch like a giant stone wall carved by wind, ice, and time. 18 peaks over 3,000 meters, steep and rugged, glow with orange and pink-purple hues at sunrise and sunset. A breathtaking natural phenomenon Italians call in Rosadera. This is where nature and humans coexist in absolute respect. Small wooden villages nestle in green valleys, trails wind through pine forests, cable cars float you between sky and rock. In summer, the Dolomites are for hiking enthusiasts. In winter, they transform into a white kingdom for skiing and adventure. Pompeii, the city buried under ash. If there is a place in the world where time stopped forever, it is Pompeii. This city was once vibrant, wealthy, and free-spirited until that fateful day in 79 AD, when Mount Vesuvius awoke and buried everything under hot ash in just hours. Thousands of years later, with the ash layer excavated, Pompeii emerges like a time machine. Intact stone streets, houses with colorful frescoes. Taverns, bakeries, markets, brothels, all as if the residents just left yesterday. Plaster casts of humans in their final moments make your heart tighten. This is no longer history, it is living tragedy. Walking through this ancient city, you are not merely sightseeing. You are reliving the last ordinary day of a Roman civilization, a reminder that beauty and tragedy can coexist, and the past is sometimes not behind us but right under our feet. Assisi, the city of St. Francis and sacred hills. There are places that need no loud words. Silence alone is enough to calm your heart. Assisi is such a place. A small town nestled among the green hills of Umbria, where heaven and earth meet in serene, sacred fullness. Assisi is the hometown of St. Francis, the patron saint of animals. And perhaps nowhere is more fitting. Ancient gray stone monasteries, narrow streets filled with flowers, and the sound of church bells echoing in the morning mist, all guide one closer to the most sacred within. The unmissable highlight is the Basilica of St. Francis, housing his tomb and exquisite frescoes depicting his life.
Light filtering through stained glass windows creates a space so mystical it feels as if time is pressing.
In Assisi, you don't just see art, you feel it permeating the air, every breath. This is not a place to explore, it is a place to listen to yourself. Siena, the city of the shell-shaped square and ancient horse races. Siena is not as majestic as Rome, nor as glittering as Milan, but possesses a strange allure, like a medieval epic still resonating today. The heart of the city is Piazza del Campo, the unique shell-shaped square where locals gather, tourists sit drinking coffee, and watch the shadows gently descend like memories. But it is here, twice a year, that all of Siena ignites with the Palio horse race, a centuries-old tradition where neighborhoods compete not just for victory, but for honor and pride. Outside the square are winding, steep alleys where red brick and faded flags create a year-round festive atmosphere. Siena Cathedral, a Gothic masterpiece with exquisite marble floors, makes you tilt your head and hold your breath at its unbelievable grandeur. Tea holds you with glamour, it touches you with depth, with the feeling that here, time doesn't. Alberobello, the village of legendary white conical roofs. Stepping into Alberobello is like walking straight into a fairy tale, yet it's all real, tangible, and dazzlingly white. Located in sunny, windy Puglia, this village is famous for its unique trolley houses. Whitewashed walls, conical stone roofs, quietly huddled together like a tiny army guarding time. No other architecture resembles Alberobello, which is why it's recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Each house is a mystery. The old builders used no mortar for easy dismantling during tax inspections, and strange symbols are painted on the roofs, like celestial stars.
Crosses still puzzle visitors, whether they represent fate or ancient whispers.
Wandering the sun-drenched lanes, you'll find Alberobello not just adorable but also peculiar, charming, and unlike anywhere else in the world.
A place that makes you smile while leaving you speechless at its strangely pristine beauty.
Naples, the city beside the volcano with a heart of fire. Naples is not for those seeking absolute order. It's chaotic, bustling, wild, yet vibrantly alive in every cell. Sitting right next to Mount Vesuvius, which once buried Pompeii, Naples is a city living with a perpetually burning heart. Here, every street has the sound of voices, motorbikes,
Laughter, and passionate arguments.
But within that emotional chaos, you'll find the most authentic Italian culture. Naples is the birthplace of pizza, not the kind you've eaten, but real pizza. Crispy crust, melted cheese, San Marzano tomatoes, and a sprinkle of fresh basil. Eating a slice here,
You'll understand why the whole world bows to this humble dish.
the city is also an artistic treasure trove, with dazzling Baroque churches,
The National Archaeological Museum, and a mysterious underground tunnel system, telling layers of history.
Milan, the capital of fashion and contemporary art. If Rome is the past, Florence is art, then Milan is the future, striding down the catwalk, fast, confident, and always leading.
As Italy's financial, design, and fashion hub, Milan carries a hurried yet refined pulse.
This is where you might see someone in a suit enter a cafe, order an espresso to be downed in 60 seconds, then vanish as if never there. But amidst that whirl, modern and classical beauty blend mesmerizingly. The Last Supper. S most luxurious shopping arcade, U. Milan doesn't need to win anyone over. It is itself, cool, captivating, and always making people look back. Turin, the city of chocolate, cars, and the mysterious shroud. Turin isn't ostentatious. It stands quietly at the foot of the Alps like an Italian noble in a cloak.
But if you're patient enough to step closer, this city will whisper its deepest secrets to you.
This is where Fiat, the symbol of Italian cars, was born, the city of thick, rich hot chocolate and ancient cafes where intellectuals once debated Italy's future. And deep inside the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist lies the Shroud of Turin, a mysterious relic believed to have wrapped Jesus' body after crucifixion. Truth or legend, science cannot confirm, but the silence before that cloth needs no explanation. Turin also holds the beauty of contrast, massive Baroque architecture, orderly squares, a cinema museum in the city's tallest spire, and tree-lined streets carrying the quiet depth of old Europe. Palermo, crossroads of civilizations and Mediterranean flavors. Palermo is like a Mediterranean tune playing chaotically yet enchantingly, located in northwestern Sicily, at the intersection of Phoenician, Arab, Norman, Greek, and Spanish influences. Each civilization left clear marks in every brick, dish, and daily life. You'll see a domed Moorish-styled church next to a Norman palace, seafood couscous served beside crispy fried pizza,
and a traditional market identical to those in North Africa, where vendors shout amid the scent of spices and sizzling olive oil.
Palermo is a city of scents and sounds. Fresh lemons, grilled squid, rubbing motorbikes, and lively laughter from small squares at sunset. Behind that bustle lies rare cultural depth, where people live slowly but with intense emotion, proud of a past as mixed as their blood. Italy doesn't need to try to charm you, it simply exists, in the light falling on red rooftops, in church bells echoing through valleys, in a glass of wine shimmering in the hazy afternoon. Every city, every village, every stone or bridge here has a story, not just to be seen but to be lived. In Italy, beauty isn't ostentatious. It lies in every small detail, in the interplay between past and present, stone and water, people and time. And strangely, no matter how many places you visit, it still feels like a beginning, as if Italy always saves its best for the next encounter.
Because some journeys make you feel, the more you travel, the more you realize you never left.
Subscribe to the Unseen Realm channel so you don't miss the latest videos.